Hi, I'm Niall from Gulfstream Boat Sales. This is our 2016 Galeon Galia 750 hardtop, powered by a pair of Honda 150 horsepower 4-stroke outboards. There's a massive spec on this boat, including bow thruster, stern thruster, teak decks, Garmin chart plotter, radar, you name it, this boat has it. There's also only 125 hours on the clock, and it's being sold complete with the trailer that you see it sitting on. Fabulous boat. We're going to walk around it now, show you the features inside it, show you the condition that it's in, and hopefully help you to figure out whether this might be the right boat for you. Although this boat is badged as a 750, it's actually closer to 8 meters in length. It's 25 foot overall length, and it has a beam of 9 foot as well. It is substantially bigger and heavier than, the equivalent models in the Janu and Beneteau ranges. So you get a Janu 755. This is a bigger boat than that, more substantial boat in the water. And just a bigger, heavier hull. And that's sort of shown by the fact that there's twin outboards in this as well. Most of those smaller boats in like the Janu Beneteau ranges are single engine only. But yeah, it's a big, substantial boat. The history of this one is that it was supplied, it's 2016 build, but it was first sold and registered in 2018. So it only went on the water to her first owner in 2018. We then supplied it to her second owner in 2021, November 2021, and it's now for sale again. So it's had only 2 owners from new, and it has been very lightly used. Current owner has done a bunch of upgrades, including the stern thruster and some of the electronics and stereo and things like that. So it's been really well cared for, and it's just in beautiful condition. It's an absolutely immaculate boat. So we got a stainless steel anchor on it as well. Always a nice sign, a super expensive stainless steel anchor roller, big chunky bow rails, beautiful bright white hull, gel coat. We've got this lovely big in-hull window here into the forward cabin. Coming all the way back, rub rails in perfect condition. This boat was originally, I think it still is, probably called Airwaves. And the first owner had this name badge done in like the Galia style, to match the Galia style. So we left that. Current owner decided to leave that on because it looks really smart. Coming all the way back to the stern corner on the the port side. It's in beautiful condition. Galeon stainless steel cleats. Midships, there's 2 midships cleats there as well. We've got a nice folding 3-step stainless steel and teak bathing ladder. And we'll take a look in the cockpit in a wee minute. But yeah, finished with black anti-fouling paint. The boat, the current owner, since 21, or I think it was his 22 season, he launched it, has only ever used it in fresh water as well. Bow thruster there, bow thruster tunnel. And obviously got the stern thruster to match that too. The bow itself's in great shape, no trailer damage. You've got this as the drain for your anchor locker. The starboard side is also in immaculate condition. Gel coat above and below the rub rail itself. The bow rails are all pristine. So again, you got the matching hull side window on this side. Graphics and everything look great. The hull bottom looks great. Another 2 midships cleats on this side. Got that Airwaves name on this side as well. Tank vents there, stainless steel tank vents, self-bailing decks on it, so that's a deck drain. This is probably a bilge pump outlet or something. Rub rail on this side is also in great condition. Again, you get the Galeon badges. Galeon have really, this was around the time, well, it was probably a few years into the time that they were really turning themselves into like a almost super yacht builder. This is one of the smaller boats. They don't even know if they make boats this small anymore, but they do all their stainless steel work in-house. So these are all made in the Galeon factory. The bow rails are all made in there. The quality of these things, the solidness of the layup and the hulls, just everything about them is really impressive. I've been to the factory and seen it in person, and it's just a seriously impressive setup. They do all their own in-house joinery. The teak decks are done in the factory. All the upholstery is done in the factory. It's just absolutely top quality boat all the way around. And this one around the exterior is in pristine condition. Transom is dominated by the twin 150 horsepower Honda outboards. You've got obviously counter rotating engine on the port side. These have only run for 125 hours and they're in pristine condition as well. Skegs are perfect. Props, we've got 14.5 by 19-inch props, and they're a couple of wee tiny little scuffs on the leading edge of the propeller there, but it's perfect. Skegs are nice and straight. Paint finish is good on these engines as well. That's obviously the same size prop, just counter rotating, and they're original Honda props also. This is the new stern thruster. This was only installed, I think, a year or two ago. So that's going to make berthing this boat a breeze, particularly if you're single-handed, and they're on a remote control as well. So you could step off the boat onto the jetty and control it with the thrusters. We've got Volvo Penta QL blade type trim tabs on it also. So those are the retractable blade type tabs, all in perfect condition. Port and starboard sides, so they'll help correct the running angle if it's leaning over in a crosswind or something. Need to just confirm the service records with the owner, but I know he has it serviced every year, so I'm sure it's serviced up to date, and they've only run 125 hours. If you check out the photo gallery on our website, you'll see photographs of underneath the hood as well. It's immaculate. Both engines are completely mint. Splash well's really neat and tidy. Obviously hydraulic steering, nice neat cable trunking to run all the cables onto the deck. And then there's a little teak step if you want to stand on that for checking, popping hoods to check oil levels and stuff. We'll take a look at that now in a wee second when we jump up on board. So this boat has really easy access. It's easy to step over the gunnel at the sides, either side, but you can also step onto the swim platform here. And if you are boarding from the other side, there's a little tread step there, and you can actually walk across the front of the splash well with that little teak tread step as well, if you just fold up this kind of bait table area. So that lifts up on 2 gas assist struts, or just the one actually, sorry, just one gas strut there. Lifts that up, and you can see how clean everything is. This is your shore power connection point here, so you can plug into shore power. There's obviously a full battery charger and 2 40-volt sockets on there. There's your C-start, hydraulic steering around your tie bar, access down into the bilge and the automatic bilge pump as well. So it's easy to stand there, pop hoods up, pull dipsticks and things for checking. You can do basic daily checks on your oil level and things like that. We've then got this nice walk-through transom, so lockable gate, again, really high quality, high-end item. This is a transom shower, pull-out transom shower with hot and cold water. There's one step down into the cockpit, and then all the decks in here are all completely laid in real teak, and it's all in really nice condition. Wheelhouse center, it's actually offset to port slightly, but you still have a nice wide walkway up the port side there, but you've got a fully recessed side walkway along the starboard side and a side entry door into the helm station as well. So this is super handy, particularly if you're using this boat single-handed. This is, as I said, this boat's really well set up for single-handed use because you have this easy access into the helm station. You've got the bow thruster and stern thruster with remote controls. You've got the twin engines. This boat is going to be an absolute breeze to handle around the marina. So if you do a lot of single-handed boating, or if you have guests out with you that aren't used to boating and they're not really great with lines and things, you can sit them up in the wheelhouse, or you know, put them sitting here in the back seat out of the way, and you can bring this boat in on your own without any trouble whatsoever. So this is also really nice if you're using it as a fishing boat as well. You can pop out and watch your lines. You've got rod holders in the gunnels on both sides, stainless steel rod holders, nice bolstered, or upholstered, sorry, I should say, side panels there all the way around. This fold out bench seat can fold completely flat against the transom. Very easily, just lift the cushion, fire it inside, that folds up totally flat, and it really opens up this whole back deck area if you are fishing or doing a bit of water sports or whatever, even doing a bit of diving or something, you know. So really versatile layout back here. This is your sort of bait prep area. A couple of cup holders in there. In here we have a huge big storage box. Use that as a bait well or something like that. You can plug that there to fill that up. We have storage in these pockets in the gunnels. Obviously easy access to your cleats. These stainless steel handrails have been retrofitted in the two back corners. What else do we have here? We've got our fuel fill point here, gas fill point there, and then up along the port side walkway, I think we've got our water fill point there. Chunky stainless steel handrails all the way around, a couple of handrails here. You've obviously got the nice high bow rails as you move forward as well. Okay, so I've got the cushion in the wheelhouse. I'll just show you how easy it is to fold this back seat up out of the way, just literally like that. Huge big, look at the engineering that's gone into that bracket there. That is super solid bracket there. So that folds like that, and that flips down to hold it in position, and that's your totally clear deck space. We've then got a bunch of lockers and maintenance access points here. So in this one, just a big tank area. You can use that to prop it open. Again, there's a drain in this, so you can drain it overboard. I don't know if it's a live well or a fish well or something. I'm not really a fisherman. You see, you got your deck drain down there in the corner. And I'm always calling these the wrong names, whether it's a live well or a fish well. And people do get on to me about it, but I still have never really figured out what you're supposed to call them. But that's what they are. If you're a fisherman, you'll know. But yeah, there you go. So that's another drainable locker. You can just use them for storage as well. You know, pop in fenders and lines and stuff like that. This is a wee storage box here. Nice little neat storage box in there. And there's a spot for the table to go in here as well. So if you're sitting outside having a picnic, you can set up the table out here. And then this is primarily service access, but you could fire some fenders and things or store a bit of gear down in here as well. So two gas struts hold this locker up. Big chunky rubber seals around all these lockers to keep the water from going down into the inner bilge. Obviously there's an automatic bilge pump down in the back of that anyway. And then you've got access to your tanks here. So this is a fresh water tank. This is your fuel tank. Total capacity is 400 litres on the fuel tank. And that's feeding both outboards. So you got your starboard supply and your port supply, pre-filters on each as well. You actually have remote activated battery isolator switches. So you've got a couple of switches in the cabin. You push the switch and it remotely activates your isolator switches. You can manually override them as well. This is an isolator then for the stern thruster, I would imagine. And you've got batteries down in there and all sorts of gear, but good access to all that stuff. And that's your water tank, as I said. So again, everything is super solid build quality. You know, the bracketry and the securing straps and the tanks, everything looks the part, and it's in lovely condition. We will head up onto the foredeck just before we go into the wheelhouse. So again, all this side decking and these steps are all laid in real teak. Get this midships cleat just outside the helm door. The bow rails come up to like up above hip height here, and then up onto this flat foredeck. So we've got the sun pad cushions out here at the moment. This is all factory original sun pad cushions. We've just installed new lights this week, and this one, maybe that one, are flickering. So apologies for the flickering. I've got to get the electrician back to sort those out. But if we lift these up, all the surfaces underneath are all molded non-skid. So if you're not sun lounging, you've got safe fitting up here. Potentially somebody could even do a bit of fishing up here if it's calm. We've got an electric anchor windlass, and obviously that nice stainless steel anchor. Plenty of absolutely stacks of chain in there as well. So you control the anchor windlass from the helm switches. Access in there to another bit of, that's a separate locker actually. A wee bit more chain. There might well be a wee spare anchor, wee small cage anchor or something in there. So all clips and catches. The hinges are all in good condition. All the Galeon branded cleats up here. You got an opening section at the front of the bow rail. So if your berth sort of bows to, you could step off and on over the bow as well. So those cushions are all in really nice condition also. Windscreen is cleared with these two big pantograph wipers. It's a one-piece screen, so there's nothing to impede your visibility, and quite narrow A-pillars as well. So there's really great visibility. You've got a huge big fixed skylight window in the roof. So that's just a big fixed window, gives lots of natural light into the wheelhouse. You've got these stainless steel handrails along the roof. So if you're making your way down and it's a bit rough, you've got somewhere to hang on to there inboard as well as the bow rails. Decent walkway along the port side as well. It's obviously at a higher level, but it's still nice and wide. Handrails here on the roof on this side. That's your, oh sorry, that's a waste pump out point. I thought it was a water filler, but your water filler must be back on the back deck somewhere. We'll find it now in a minute. We've got this nice little A-frame or radar arch, stainless steel radar arch with the Garmin radome mounted there, your Garmin GPS antennas on the starboard side, anchor light and VHF antenna, and another couple of rod holders up here. Also, you get your Galia badge there, LED nav lights and stuff. Again, it's all in absolutely beautiful condition throughout. Really, really clean boat this. There's the water fill point that I was looking for. So that's where you fill your fresh water tank there. So fresh water there, fuel there, and pump out your waste up there. We also have our builder's plate here. So Galia 750, rated to carry 7 passengers plus gear, category C rated. So this is your main access into the saloon. These split folding doors, they slide open. You can lock them open with those two flip down catches, and then access into the wheelhouse as well as your helm side door. So it's fairly compact in here. Obviously you have the benefit of all this outdoor space and the walk around side decks, but you have to sacrifice a little bit of wheelhouse room. So we've got a nice layout, little galley, compact galley, just on the port side as you walk in. We've got a twin dinette seating arrangement here, little dining table and 2 seats that face each other. And then we've got our nice comfortable helm seat with flip up bolster, side access door, and a forward double cabin area. So twin berth up forward. And as well as that, we have a fully enclosed heads and shower compartment. Actually very big heads and shower compartment, which is really nicely finished off. So that's the overall layout. Take a look at each area in a bit more detail now. So the galley area consists of a little sink with hot and cold running water. We have a little single burner alcohol stove here. So you just flip that up to access it there. So it's a little easy to use alcohol stove. We have storage underneath here. It's a big storage compartment there. And we have a drawer fridge here underneath the dinette, a Waco drawer fridge. So enough to take care of all the basics, and you know, you could cook for a night or two on the water with this little galley setup. You get switches for your lighting. You've got a plug-in 240 volt socket, just need a European socket adapter for that, and also a 12 volt power outlet there as well. Little fire extinguisher stored down there. The dinette area is comfortable for 2, and nice comfortable seats, decent sized table. You're right beside a sliding side window as well, so you can slide that window open for a bit more airflow through the wheelhouse. And you're sitting at a nice height as well, so great visibility all the way around. If the boat's underway, you can obviously sit, you've got your seating out on the back of the cockpit, but then we also have this little seat, so you can sit here and you're facing forward and you're good eye line, sitting at the same height as the helmsman. Great visibility all the way around. There's a full curtains pack with the boat, so you see all these little curtain hooks. So they're all, I think they're stored away somewhere, but they've all been freshly valeted as well. So you can fully enclose the wheelhouse if you're sleeping on board. The floor is all laid in teak as well, teak and holly, and there's a little filler piece goes in here, so you can make that up. I don't really know. Fairly small, like maybe if you've got a really small kid they could sleep here, but yeah, the main sleeping area is down in here, this forward cabin area. So it's just a big V berth. There's your table that goes into the spot outside. I'll actually put that up and show you, and then there's storage underneath these cushions, so I'll move some of this stuff out of the way to show you the storage. But it's a big long V berth. It'll easily accommodate 2 people. You've got these nice hull side windows in here, overhead light. You get open and port lights as well, so you can get a bit of airflow through here too. and a cupboard and stuff. So we'll lift up some cushions and I'll show you around a little bit better. If you're primarily going to use this as a day boat and you don't need the sleeping accommodation up forward, you can actually lift out the filler pieces. So these filler panels and the filler cushion, you can store them either in the heads compartment because there's stacks of room in there, or at home. And it turns this area down here into a full seating area. So you can get lots more people seated inside the wheelhouse. So you got full sitting headroom here. I'm 5'10", I've got full sitting headroom. You'll easily, like 3 or 4 people could sit down here, no problem. Or the kids can come down here. And you're still, you know, you still get great visibility out through the side windows, and you're talking to the helmsman here. And it doesn't feel like you're, you know, it's not overly claustrophobic or anything. So that's, you know, either seating area if it's during the day, or filler cushions in and your bed at night time. We have storage in here. So again, that's a big storage compartment. There's your cushions actually there. So fuel keys and things for your fuel fillers. Again, all the wee clips and catches are all working perfectly. Screen protector for the Garmin living there. We have our switch panel here. So these are actually your battery isolator switches. So you hit those switches and it remotely turns on the main isolators back in the laserette. You get a battery voltage monitor. You've got your 230 volt control panel here as well for turning on your battery charger, your boiler, which is your hot water system, sockets. And then down here we've got circuit breakers for your 12 volt gear. So everything easy to get to, nicely laid out. And this is the same type of system they operate on their big boats, Galeon. I think there's a bit more storage in underneath here as well. Bunch of fenders and things in that locker. A wee bit of storage up behind the backrests, and then storage in there. Another bunch of fenders in there, and that's the bow thruster switch as well. Isolator switch for the bow thruster. So it's all in really nice condition. There's a wee bit of mold in these cushions up forward. This is like a perforated fabric, and it's really hard to clean. So the guys have had a go at it, but not that big an area. If it really bothered you, you could get these reupholstered for not a lot of money. But yeah, other than that, everything else in the boat, it's really the only thing you could potentially fault the boat on. There's a wee bit of mold in some of these seat cushions, but not a big deal. So there you go, really nice forward cabin area here. There's a set of carpets here in really nice condition actually. Nice white carpets for the floor area here. So if you want to protect the timber, you can put your carpets down as well. The helm seat has this flip up bolster, so you can easily, there's stacks of room, so you can stand at the helm. If you're moving in and out through the side entry door, you probably want to have the bolster folded up out of the way. And then with it folded down, this is my seated eye level, so you're looking straight out through the center of the screen. You've got this elevated little footrest here, super smooth hydraulic steering. We've got, what's the name of that, NHK mech. This is like digital throttle and shift controls. You've got your controller for your Volvo trim tab system there as well, for those blade type trim tabs. All your 12 volt switch gear. Let's start turning things on here to walk you through the dashboard. But you've got your running lights as your anchor light only, so that's nav light, anchor light, windscreen wipers, port and starboard side, they're twin speed. You've got either single combined engine trim control on this switch, so that trims both engines together, or you can trim them individually with these two switches. You got your bilge pump controls, 4.5 bilge pumps, horn switch. Let's see, what can we do? We've got our anchor winch switch. We've got our fresh water pump switch. I'm not going to turn that on because it's winterized at the minute. And then you get your radar and electronic switch. So switch on the electronics powers up your Garmin. It's a GPS map XSV, so it's a big, I'd say it's a 9-inch display. It's the full of the dashboard. Then you've got your engine instruments, so that's your engine hours, 124.8. I have had this boat on the water, and it's an absolutely fabulous boat to drive. Great performance out of those twin 150s, but I will try. It's always difficult this time of year, just with the short, short daylight hours and pretty rubbish weather in January this time of year. But we will try our best to get a sea trail video done on this boat as well, to show you exactly how this boat performs on the water. But yeah, we'll go through the engine instruments and the engine controls in more detail on the sea trail video. If I don't get around to doing the sea trail video, we always sea trail the boat with the buyer anyway. We wouldn't expect anybody to buy a boat without a sea trail. So if you're thinking about buying this boat, you can get your own personal virtual sea trail, or you can obviously come and have a sea trail in person. So just to clarify that. So there you go, that's the Garmin switched on, picking up the boat location. Obviously got full charge to the UK and Ireland preloaded into it. This talks to the radar system. It's got depth fish finder functionality as well. There's absolutely stacks of things that these new plotters can do. So charge radar sonar. I'm not going to go through it now, but we will on the sea trail. Steering compass up forward there. Let's turn on this stuff. We got a Fusion. This is a fairly new Fusion as well. MSRA 50 Bluetooth sound system, and we have a ICOM VHF radio. So you get that to pick up something. I don't know what's going on with that. Turn these speakers on or something. So there's your icon powered up anyway. So that's your VHF working. Something weird going on with stereo, but we'll get that figured out. It's a brand new stereo, so it's obviously working. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and your bow and stern thruster controller is here, so you can use this bow to rotate it. There's also a remote control for it somewhere that you can wear around your neck. It's kicking about here somewhere. So that's your bow and stern thruster controller. So there you go, that's the helm. Stacks of equipment, everything you could want on a coastal cruiser like this. Your chart plotter, your fish finder, your radar, VHF radio. You've got all the gear that you could need, and there's not really any space to fit anything else in the dash. It has all the option boxes ticked, so if you want to fit anything else, you're going to start hanging it off the roof, I think. But I don't think you need anything else. This is all you'd want. So let's take a closer look at the heads compartment. So you have a bit of a step down into it, but it's an absolutely huge heads compartment. So you've obviously got pump out jab screw toilet. Let's get down in here. So it's a lined compartment here. It's all fiberglass backed. So pump out jab screw toilet. You have a really nice little vanity unit here. This is your sink, hot and cold running water. It also works as a shower head, so you could have a shower in here. It's obviously fully lined and drains into a shower sump. There's a shower sump pump in there. We have storage in there below the sink, tank level monitor for your waste tank, and you can either empty that overboard at sea or at the pump out point on the port side deck. Storage down in there. We bow needs clipped up, but storage in here, and little vanity mirror, another bit of storage there as well. And you've obviously got your curtains for screening that off, and an opening porthole too as well. So like, it's absolutely massive. Look at them. You can't even touch the ceiling in here. Why they've made it so tall, I don't know, but they have, and it's a really big heads compartment if you are planning on staying on board and shower. It's a great shower compartment actually. So yeah, they definitely didn't skimp on the toilet. So a lot of people looking for these weekenders and overnight boats, a separate toilet compartment is important. This boat definitely ticks that box. And finally, seeing as we've opened every other locker that we could find, let's open this one as well. I'll show you what's in here. So that is your shower sump pump there, bilge pump, waste tank, and battery charger, battery, just other mechanical bits and bobs. But again, everything's nice and clean and tidy behind the scenes. All the hoses are all double clamped, good quality stuff, bonding wires on the seacocks. all really well done and in nice condition. And there's the cockpit table in position as well. Nice little cockpit table with 4 cup holders integrated into it. The boat is being sold complete with this trailer that you see it sitting on. So it's an SBS bunked road trailer, R4 3500B. So it's a 3.5 ton trailer. The boat on its own weighs 2,300 kilos without the engines. The engines are probably like 200 a piece. So you're probably talking 23, 25, 20. It's going to be about 27, 50. It's the full capacity of the trailer anyway, but it tows well. I've towed this boat on the trailer, and yeah, that trailer is included. If you want to buy one of these brand new today, you'll be spending the guts of 6,000 or 7,000. So that's a big bonus if you need it. If you want to buy the boat without the trailer, we can look at a deal without the trailer also, but yeah, it's included in the advertised asking price. So there you have it. That's our Galeon Galia 750 hardtop, built 2016, first launched 2018, only 125 hours on the clock, absolutely packed to the gunnels with options and extras, including the bow thruster, stern thruster, teak decks, anchor windlass, hot water, shore power. Just the list is almost endless, but everything you could want in a boat like this. I think it's a fabulous coastal cruising boat for a small family or a couple. I know there's not stacks of room in the wheelhouse, but you'll easily accommodate 3 or 4 people in there. You've got the bench out in the cockpit, the walk around access on the decks, and the ease of berthing is going to make it really well suited to somebody who does a lot of single-handed boating, or maybe with a small family or people that can't help you with the lines. Going to be a really safe and confidence-inspiring coastal cruising boat. Or for inland waterways. This boat spent the last 3 years of its life on the inland waterways, so it'll happily run around the lakes and rivers as well. But yeah, beautiful condition. It really is an immaculate. If you're interested in this boat at all, I don't think you're going to be disappointed whenever you see it in the flesh. You're welcome to arrange, by all means, if you're interested, do give me a call on the number at the top of our website, or send me an email to sales@gulfstreamshop.com. But I'd be delighted to talk to you about the boat, answer any questions, help you with surveys, sea trials, logistics of getting it home, and we can also look at trade-ins and part exchanges as well. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. Hopefully you like the boat as much as I do, and please don't hesitate to get in touch if you want to talk about it more. Thanks for watching.